should be live. Welcome back, everybody, to another live stream repair. We've got 2.5 HomePods here today. That would be 2 fully assembled HomePods and 1 amplifier board from a HomePod all by itself. Grab a random box from the pile, and I don't remember whose this was. Let me look. So we've got, I believe you would pronounce that Mansa. I apologize if that's not correct, but let's shoot them an email really quick, letting them know that we're getting started. All right, so they have no power, but they said smells, burnt smell at the bottom. Interesting. Let's open up their box. So I'm curious what this burnt smell is. I've actually never smelled the bottom of these before when these ones with no power. It smells perfectly fine to me, but maybe I can't smell it. Anyways, let's fix that other camera here. Nope, not Samsung Pay, thank you. Droid Cam. If you're curious how I use my various spare smartphones as cameras for OBS here, I just use an application called Droid Cam for OBS. Works wonderfully if you've got functional USB ports on your PC. There we go. Cheers. We are ready to get started. First things first, of course, as always, we are going to grab a known good power cable here, plug into our kilowatt meter, and plug this in and check out what we're dealing with, confirm our symptoms. Yes, indeed, we've got no signs of life there, even after spamming the top there. We get 4 watts of power draw from the wall, which tells us it's not a less likely blown fuse, which obviously that would pull 0 watts of power. It's an open circuit, so there's no way for power draw to occur. We've, what appears to be, got another case of a bad diode on the amplifier. So let's get this open and see if we are right again. Man, I had to have, at this point, I had to have said the exact same things that I usually say in most of these live stream repairs at least 100 times each. because most of these HomePods, it's still to this day. We've been doing this for over a year now. Same issues. The primary one being this power failure due to a bad batch of these diodes floating around. And I mean, you can only put a spin on the same thing so many times. It seems that we've got some fun projects coming in. I've got somebody with a Sonos subwoofer that won't power on. Somebody else with a Samsung smartphone that needs a USB-C port replaced. Had this guy call me trying to get his 65-inch TCL smart TV fixed. But unfortunately, he lives in Seattle and was expecting me to be a mobile tech. And I just do not have the time to have the day job, be a dad, fix the HomePods, and a mobile tech on top of all of that. I was like, but I'm more than happy to help you if you just need help finding the right board to order, you think you can do this yourself, you just have a problem finding the right part, I don't mind helping you, pointing you in the right direction. Let's get our main basket here off. We've already dripped a little bit of rubbing alcohol around the inside of that where it's glued down, so when we go to pry this off it should be a lot easier. Okay. Hey, Chef. Happy Friday Eve. Subwoofer checks out, smells nice and good, no concerns there. I would like to know where they were smelling that. They said burned smell on the bottom of the unit when you bring it to your nose. And that's interesting to me because these HomePods are, the inside is completely sealed. So especially when someone says the bottom of it smells like burnt electronics. Well, the only thing that could be is maybe they're smelling the tweeter. But everything else, the tweeter speaker itself is exposed through the bottom. But all of the electronics inside, they're all sealed up. So if it was anything major, it wouldn't be coming from that. Unless there was something absolutely catastrophic, but just at a glance here. And based on that power draw we were looking at, we're probably dealing with another standard diode replacement. Nothing smelly there. Out with the amp. Set all that to the side. We don't need any of it for now. This is what we care about. So, the logic board and display get their power from the amplifier. So when the amplifier has a major fault, bringing it down, then the entire HomePod becomes unresponsive as a result. And most common failure, let me pull up my full screen preview so I can see what I'm doing here. Where's my mouse? So, most common failure with these when they have no power is this diode in particular. And this one has a date code at the bottom, you can see there, of 1746K, which means it was built in the year 2017, week 46. So we consistently see 1746K and 1748K diodes failing, and we continue to also see HomePods sent in for other issues unrelated to, like not no power issues, but death farts, physical damage, whatever. We've seen enough of these diodes to know that it's only happening with these date codes. That's what I'm pretty much getting at. We've got ones as old as 1720K. We've got ones as new as 18XX. So it's nothing to do with the age, nothing to do with the spec of the part. Purely just a bad batch of diodes floating around out there. So that probably answers the question you might have of, well, when you replace this, do I have to worry about it happening again? No, you don't. You just have to worry about numerous other issues instead. Biggest one being Apple making these obsolete through a software update. Next biggest one being kind of related to the first point, but the HomePod suddenly breaking itself, and because Apple still doesn't let us restore the firmware or even attempt to restore the firmware on these. Even though it's physically possible. I've got a USB pin out on my website at nixfix.com if you're curious on how to plug your HomePod into your computer via USB and do absolutely nothing but stare very sadly at the restore button that they give you. That doesn't do anything because they block access to the firmware files that they give you access to for literally all their other products. Even the HomePod Mini. You can go download the full IPSW for your HomePod Mini. But not for the big HomePod. Oh yeah, no, I've got room to rant about that a couple hundred more times. Oh yeah, no, air quality is awful in here. Go figure. You gonna settle down, little diode? Buy a house, have kids maybe? There you go. Okay, we're gonna give this a sec to cool off. We don't want the heat that we just pumped into this board throwing off our DC offset testing, assuming this power's on. We don't just check that we get the HomePod powering on again, but we also check to make sure that it doesn't have any other obvious issues like failing filters allowing a growing DC offset, which over time will cook your bass speaker, produce death farts, louder popping. Quiet popping is totally fine and expected and normal. For pretty much every Class D audio amplifier, you're going to have DC offset. But even my second-gen HomePods make a bit of a pop when they power on or off. We're going to put a couple screws into this amp to secure it in place. In particular, the screws that will be covered up by the power supply when we put that in here, so that if we test this and everything checks out, then we can just continue putting it back together. And we'll have given us a bit of a head start. Worst case, we can just take the power supply back out, and it's 3 screws from the amp that we've got there. And then we're back in, but there we go. Let's plug in our subwoofer, our bench woofer. This has a connection to our multimeter on the bottom right hand of the screen there. And what we're looking for is what I was talking about earlier with DC offset. Anything less than 50 millivolts, positive or negative, doesn't matter, is a passing score. Anything more than 50 millivolts, we want to consider replacing those filters. And there we go. We've got ourselves some power. Throw it back. Give this a sec to finish booting up. We can take our DC offset. There it is, about 3.1. That's a great offset. Excellent. So sounds good, powers up fine, good offset. Ready to put back together. Start by tightening up the power supply. It's already got the screws for it there. If I go for the amp screws first, then my magnetic screwdriver there will keep pulling those ones out. So power supply first and then amp. Hey, glad you could make it. Just in time, too. We're getting this buttoned up now. And if you missed any part that you want to watch, you can always come back to the live stream or rewind it and watch it back anytime. We typically keep all of our previous live stream repairs up and online for everybody to watch. Oh, that one's tricky. There we go. I was on my way back from UPS today and ended up getting stuck, like, on the side of the road. Oh, sorry, really more just like in the middle of the road. Just stopped for a solid 8-10 minutes. Because there was like this massive, like, 300 or 500 gaggle of like cops in state patrol, like just dicking around town in a big parade. I don't know what they're doing, but it's getting pretty annoying dealing with that every other day. Between the noise, them speeding around each other, blocking traffic, and just absolutely, it's still wrecked. Like, this was like an hour ago, and traffic, like, right in front of my house is still backed up for, like, it's gotta be half a mile. I don't know if they were doing, like, a funeral procession or something. If that was a funeral procession, I would not be driving like a dickhead at my colleague's funeral procession. Sorry. Giving you my personal take there. And I'm gonna leave it. Let's get that in. I don't know, I'm crazy. I'm not a fan of funeral processions at all. Like, I don't care how important you or I ever will be. I don't think it's worth inconveniencing an entire town to go parading around. That's like the last thing that I want to do is like inconvenience people after I've already died. Good grief. I already feel like I'm inconveniencing people enough being alive. Get our gaskets down, nice and neat. Sounds nice and sealed. Oh, my pleasure. Thank you for trusting me with your repair needs. I don't blame most people for paying somebody to knock this out instead of trying to tackle it themselves. I've seen my fair share of HomePod gore from other people's self-repair attempts. And I know how good these can sound and what they can do. And I know how much of a kick in the pants it is that Apple just refuses to do anything about this. This is a problem that people shouldn't even be paying for. But I digress. We've got power. It's working now.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet.
Very good. Very good. 10 out of 10. Let's set that to the side and bring up the next repair. Thank you, Mansa, for stopping by. And of course, feel free to hang out and watch the rest of these if you've got nothing else to do. But who do we've got next here? This is Colin. Colin's got another HomePod with no power. Who wants to bet it's going to be the exact same problem that we just fixed on Monsa's here? Let's see. Very nicely packed yet again. We've got a streak of some decent packing past few days.
How many more you got?
1.5. I just started, so. Okay. Nothing showing up there. Same thing, 4 watts of power draw. Let's shoot them an email and let them know. And let's get started. Ah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. That one's good. How does this kind of stuff get in here? This is just a straight up pine needle. And it's like stuck underneath this ribbon cable. Up close, another one with 1746K. Yep. That's bad. There we go.
Your HomePod is about to reset.
Don't
Keep
reset.
pressing until you hear 3 beeps.
Perfect. Power. Haha. They sent some spare diodes, that's nice.
I'm having trouble connecting to the internet. For more info, check the Home app.
Alright. Colin checks 100% out. So that brings us to the last repair from Rebecca, which, good job to them. They managed to take their own HomePod apart all the way down to the amplifier with no casualties. In addition to coloring theirs orange, they did a wonderful job on the orange. Looks pretty much exactly like we've got on our website. I think I've got photos on my website. I don't even remember. Anyways, this one should be quick and easy. It has a no power issue, so we're gonna get right up close. Swing on over to our diode. We've got a date code of 1746K, which we have seen failing plenty of times now. Let's confirm ourselves. Yep, that diode is dead. So let's get that replaced. Oh, let me get their name up on the screen too. This is no longer Colin's HomePod, this is Rebecca's. And there you have it. go ahead and test it out. Make sure there's no other surprises. And that'll be it. We've got power. And we've got an acceptable offset. We've got good bass. Everything checks out. So folks, that's all that we've got in today that we need to get fixed up. Everything's taken care of. If you're looking for more info on doing your own HomePod repairs yourself, or reaching out to me to get it done for you, or maybe you're not in the US and you're looking for maybe someone else around the world doing the same thing, I've got a list of everybody around the world doing HomePod repairs and a list of common issues if you want to try to tackle it yourself. In any case, I hope you all enjoyed this live stream repair, and I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye!